Welcome back, Remodelites. This is the very first official episode of Remodeling Hollywood, where we talk about your favorite TV shows and movies and the interior design elements used to tell those stories. Today, I'd like to tell you about an independent movie that dropped this weekend on YouTube. It's a horror short film that I think sends a big message to the patriarchy through the use of imagery, storytelling, and interior design. There will be spoilers, so like this video, save it for later, come back so we can talk about it. The film is called Shark in the Dark, and the main character is Anthony, played by Michael Salamone. You know him as Anubace on social media. Anthony is a young man with PTSD who is going on a road trip with some friends to a cabin in the woods in Idaho. Hey, that cabin looks kind of familiar. Anyway, typical setup for a horror movie, right? In the first moments of the film, we see Anthony in a gas station bathroom looking at himself in the mirror. Kind of looks like he's having a panic attack and he's taking some medication for it. Fun fact, this bathroom is not up to code. The International Association of Plumbing and Mechanical Officials, IAPMO, publishes the Uniform Plumbing Code, or UPC, which calls for the use of open front toilet seats in public restrooms. It's basically a hygiene thing. More airflow, less crevices for germs to hide, easier to sanitize. This means if they used a real location, that business is in violation, and if it's a movie set, someone needs to talk to the set designer. My first genuine thought as I was watching Anthony was, wow, Michael, the actor, is really good at playing the squirrely little guy. Now, by squirrely little guy, I think you know what I mean. The guy who's always kind of nervous, not very confident. There may be something physically or mentally wrong with him. He's often portrayed as smaller in stature and more frail than the rest of the characters in the story. And there are a few rules pertaining to this character when it comes to mainstream Hollywood. He's usually not the main love interest. If anything, he's the quirky best friend. If he is the main love interest or he becomes the main love interest, he has to go on this hero's journey where he suddenly mans up and dramatically throws his inhaler because his confidence cured his asthma, I guess. I'm looking at you, sidekicks. Sorry, Chuck. None of that happens here, and this is why I love independent film projects more than a lot of the formulaic stuff we get out of Hollywood. First, it's pretty clearly established that Anthony is in a loving and stable relationship with Izzy, played by Michael's real-life girlfriend, Joanna Taylor. You know her as Kaiso Lo. I know her as a collection of cells, but that's a whole nother story. Izzy's constantly checking in with Anthony, but not hovering, and is there when he needs her. There's a moment of foreshadowing early on where Anthony walks into his room, sees a very dark, open closet with rustic hickory doors. Yes, I noticed these things. And promptly closes it while ominous music plays. That night, the group plays a lights out version of hide and seek called Shark in the Dark, and this is the first time Anthony sees the creature, but no one else does, triggering another panic attack. He goes for his medicine, but another member of the group, Alex, played by Sierra Kai, had hidden them, presumably as a prank, I guess. Fearing he left his pills in the gas station bathroom, he begins to spiral. That night, he wakes up, goes to get a drink from a faucet that looks like an old school Chicago 540 series wall-mounted kitchen faucet. Chicago Faucet still makes this faucet body type, but I prefer the updated L9 spout to the original angled one. What do you think? Anyway, he takes a drink and has another run-in with the creature, which gives him another panic attack. Throughout the movie, his friends try and reassure him that everything is fine, but he keeps catching glimpses of the creature and it keeps disappearing before anyone can see it. It really was not clear to me if this creature was a manifestation of his mental illness or if it was real. It begs the question, what does one do when they can't even trust their own perceptions of reality? The story culminates in Anthony trying to relax, taking a bath, while Izzy sits next to him on the toilet. The tub appears to be a one-piece tub shower enclosure, something like an aquatic 2603 SMTM. An interesting design detail is it looks like the tub was framed in with a rustic hickory toe kick along the bottom. The wainscoting in the bathroom appears to be rustic hickory as well. Whoever owns this house sure likes hickory. The wrought iron accessories are a nice touch though. The creature attacks, knocks Izzy out, tries to kill Anthony. The others hear the commotion and manage to break into the bathroom, and the creature disappears, again leaving Anthony as the sole witness, although this time with physical wounds the others can see. It is not lost on me that this is a huge metaphor for mental illness. Everyone around you is watching you spiral, and it's not that they don't believe you necessarily, but they don't see, they don't get it. How could they? Even though they might love you. There are a lot of design elements that lend itself towards being a stereotypical manly environment. The use of the commercial faucet in the kitchen, the use of branches as banisters on the staircase, the disembodied deer head hanging on the wall. These interior design elements as a backdrop provide an interesting visual contrast to the story. Which brings me to Anthony's character arc. There essentially is none, and that's okay. The movie subverts the typical patriarchal expectation by making sure he is exactly the same person in the beginning and at the end of the movie. He was a guy going through something, and that was enough for him, for his girlfriend, for his friends. He didn't need to man up. He didn't need to engage in the hero's journey. He was just a guy, and that could have been any one of us. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some good information out of that episode. Go ahead and click here for more videos. Go ahead and click here to subscribe. And make sure you check out the description below for relevant links to some of the products that we discussed today. And leave your comments and questions down below because I love answering them. As always, I'll see you in the next one.